hope the traffic is okay today. Latvians wondering what happened to the money in their banking system might look here at Harrods in London, favorite shopping destination of the KGB bankers.
John Christmas, a former employee at Latvia's bank. He seemed to have good intentions. Listen closely.
Something very strange happened when I gave information about the bank where I worked to the government, because certain people in the government asked me for the information. When I gave them the information, their reaction was not to use the information in a transparent way to stop the problems, but rather to cover up what happened, which puts me in exile.
Would like to share some facts I find interesting in his biography. For example, who is he and how come once upon a time he holds a high position at Latvia's bank?
I'm from Chicago, and I do have Latvian roots. My mother was born in Latvia, and therefore I am Latvian myself.
Really interesting surname. Is it a nickname?
Well, my Latvian parent is my mother, so my name Christmas is not a Latvian name. That's from my father, obviously. So the name Christmas is an Old English name, although my father was American. You could guess that maybe it came from the Christmas holiday. Maybe some ancestor was born on Christmas. We don't actually know, but we know that the name comes from England.
Why you had this offer to work in Latvia?
I had education in economics and finance at top universities in the United States. I had experience working for a large commercial bank in the United States. The Latvian banking sector was reaching out to Western people with Western education and banking experience to work for Latvia's banks to improve their reputation. But that's how I wind up here with KGB Banker.
How exactly these decisions turn out to be the worst nightmare of all times in his life? Following the breathtaking monuments, I went to meet John at an event based in London.
Which will bring us to Canary Wharf, which is some of the most expensive office buildings in the world.
It was interesting to see the way John participates. He's being serious and unstoppable for years. And the book is also a clear factor of an investment. By the way, a fictional story about American working for Latvia's bank. I actually asked him to give some highlights from the book, and suddenly it all turns at the cemetery, holding a book in front of Karl Marx's monument. When you meet him, he's such a kind person with excellent sense of humor and warm vibes.
All your money, which you don't have anymore, is like here with these people.
What happened?
Well, I understand that the independence and democracy of Latvia was not what people think it was. What I understand is there were certain oligarchs connected with the KGB who became controllers of Latvia, somehow controlling democratic institutions and controlling the banking sector. Just from one thing, I think there could be changes, an acknowledgement that the collapse of Parex Bank was misrepresented by the government and was misrepresented in the media. What I saw and what I understood was something very different, that this bank was related to the Kremlin, and the Kremlin is the reason why Parex Bank collapsed. If we just expose this one thing, if we're honest about what happened at Parex, that Parex was connected with the Kremlin and the government is protecting the people from Parex using our money dishonestly, if we just admit to this one thing, it's going to be a change. It's going to change the power structure, the people running the country, and the way in which the government operates are going to change. there is a cover-up which is running, which has been in the media, but most people don't fully understand it. And the essence, which connects the Parex Bank situation with London as well, is that there was a fake transaction where Latvia supposedly sold a stake in Parex and later supposedly sold a stake in Citadele Bank to the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, the EBRD, which is located in London, and those transactions were fake transactions. And this is not even controversial because even from official documents from the European Union, from Eurostat, says that Latvia did not really sell Parex to the EBRD, and Latvia did not really sell Parex to, or sell Citadele to the EBRD, but rather it was the opposite transaction where Latvia paid the EBRD to pretend to invest in these banks. It indicates Kremlin control of the government. If they have a different excuse, then they can say what it is. And for sure, the stories from the government about how this is the United States and Sweden are fake stories.
The topics we are talking about don't seem to be that pleasant, and soon you will recognize why.
You received threats, right?
Yes, I received a lot of threats. The thing which was the most like a threat, or even was more than a threat, an actual warning, was a statement that I received from a colleague from Parex Bank that a particular person from Parex Bank was looking for me, asking around where my apartment was, asking if I had a car, where do I park my car, what kind of car do I have. I think that that was more than a threat. I think that was a murder attempt. I think that if I had a car in Latvia at that time and they knew where my car was, I think I would have gotten it. Even sent an email to Krišjānis Kariņš, who I actually know, and I received a reply back to him. And it was a funny thing because I knew him before. He knows I was telling the truth. He knows that I gave the fraud information to him. He knows that my life was in danger. I wanted to be on the side of the law. I wanted to be safe. I thought everybody there was going to jail because they were transferring out the money. And if you could have tried to convince me before I did the whistleblowing that I would be the only person punished because I was the only person who tried to stop it, and the people who took all the money would be allowed to keep all the money and none of them would be punished, I wouldn't have even believed it. I mean, how could the government let these people steal so much money without doing anything? And I'm told all the time, still including now today, that my life is in danger if I go back there. And since there's never been any investigation of the whistleblowing, since the people who I blew the whistle against are the richest people in Latvia, if Latvia will be a true independent democracy, if the Latvian people really will be free, and if there will not be an oligarch government anymore, I'll be happy to come back.
I have a question. Is it dangerous to tell the truth in Latvia?
Telling true information in Latvia is dangerous when nobody else is telling the information. Like, for example, that Parex did not collapse because of the United States and it did not collapse because of Sweden, that it was linked to the Kremlin. Also, the secretly reversible privatizations, which were fraudulent privatizations of Parex and Citadele, are not completely covered up. You can read about them on the website for Eurostat, which is the official statistics bureau for the European Commission. You can go onto their website and you can see that these privatizations were fake. So why people cannot talk openly about this issue, even though it's on the Eurostat website, so it's not really secret, is some kind of mystery.
Also, what is this book? It all paid attention.
The book is a fictional thriller novel. However, there are lessons to be learned in the book. There were deals between Latvian bankers, Russian bankers, and Western bankers as well, which were not what they seem. KGB Banker works as a fun thriller. People get scared, people get excited, it's a lot of fun. But there's a serious message as well. As if anybody will be honest in the future from the government, tell what really happened in Latvia's banking history, Latvians can recover money, they can change the government, they can have true independence, they can have real democracy, they can have a better economy. A lot of things in Latvia could improve just by making transparent and exposing certain things that really happened. This organization, the EBRD, has screwed so many people in Eastern Europe that what should be going on here is a protest. There should be thousands of angry people here yelling at these windows of this office building, throwing eggs or whatever, because they've ripped off all of us. See this as a scalable project where a lot can be done, including entertaining thriller fans and also hopefully bringing positive change to the region. That with this theme of the secrets of the governments and the secrets of the banks and exposing these problems and tackling the problems, the KGB Banker franchise could turn into something larger. So right now there's one thriller book. There could be sequels. There could be a movie. We are talking with different people who have expressed interest in doing more, or not only a movie, but even a series.
Even if it is already years of trying, it will lead to something.